Every day in your body, there are cells being replaced, new cells coming in, and old cells just leaving your body. And most of the time, you don't even know what's happening. For healing to take place, there has to be trauma. So even something as simple as exercising, when you exercise, you're actually tearing muscle. You're literally tearing muscles apart. That's the soreness that you feel, the lactic acid buildup. And when the muscle builds again, it's a little bit bigger. And it never goes back to the way it was. It's always a little different. I was told 10 years ago that I have a severe meniscus tear in my left knee and that I need surgery for anything to happen. But I was determined just by physical therapy and meditation to heal. Because while surgical intervention takes place, it takes place outside of you, right? Something inside your body is doing the healing. It's happening on its own without any outside influence, outside intervention. Healing just takes place. It is possible for you to heal your own body by just focusing your awareness on something. If you just focus your awareness on the body part that needs healing, all of consciousness, all of awareness that exists is flowing through you to that body part. And it does heal. It does heal. After 10 years, this weekend I did a challenge that was put up for 108 Surya Namaskars. And I got to 84 and I felt a shooting pain in my knee. And then I told myself that evening I was in terrible agony. It was like a nail being put into my knee. And I said, oh my God, I've done something now. I'll have to get surgery and whatever. So that was the day one, when I was in agony, when the pain was everything. I was already in my mind, the surgery is happening, nobody's coming for my surgery, I'm managing on my, all those scary stories. All that was happening. And then the next morning, I could not fold my legs, but I sat like this and I did my meditation. I sat like this and I did my meditation. And I did, just the icing, just the rest, just the feeling, let it heal, let it become okay, let it become okay. By the end of Sunday evening, the pain had gone 80%, 90%. And I was amazed at how this body is capable of healing. It's all about sending your awareness to something. Now, when you look at our country for the last 4 years, it has suffered untold trauma. Divisions between people, divisions between classes, the burden of not being able to understand truth from lies, or belonging to different sides of the aisle, of voting on the basis of one issue. There has been so much of eruption of violence within the country. In the last decade, it was an invasion from an outside force. But in this decade, it has all been internal. People have been hurt, people have been disgruntled, people are suffering from the burden of their lives. They're suffering from the opioid crisis. They're suffering from lack of a livelihood, and they need someone to blame. It's all coming out in the form of anger and violence. It's all bubbling to the surface in the form of anger and violence. And we've had sporadic, and then on top of it, they have been enabled by weapons. The combination has been devastating on our children. We experienced in Florida the effects of the Parkland shooting. Most of us knew someone or the other that had been affected. It was right in our backyard. We saw what happened to society. We saw that not just 16 people or 18 people were killed, but their immediate families, their extended families, the first responders. Everybody gets deeply affected by this trauma. And that makes the community ripe for healing. Without trauma, a society will not be able to give rise to the cancers that are growing within it. It will not get highlighted. People will not know what it is. Light of awareness will not be shone on the issues that are breaking up a society. In the eyes of the divine, in the eyes of consciousness, in the eyes of Brahman, no event is bad. Every event is an opportunity for growth, for fusion, for change. It's all about shining awareness. And when an event comes up, there's a shooting, or there's a violent clash between people. Issues come up. People start talking to one another. People start getting involved in the legislative process. People that have never voted this year, voted in the last election. People who have been so disenfranchised and couldn't care about who becomes president, realize how important it is to have people in power who reflect your needs. We've discovered that our neighbors, our friends, think completely differently from us, that they live in a different reality. It seems as if there is no way of healing. There is no way for us to move forward with this. How is it going to happen? Someone wants to go north and the rest of the country wants to go south. It's like everybody is being pulled in a completely different direction. The power of intention is extremely strong. If you take a seedling and you plant it and place it inside a dark closet with no water and no sunlight, it's not going to sprout. Nothing is going to happen. You can keep these issues buried forever. Nothing is going to happen. But the minute you take that same pot and you place it by the window, where just one ray of sunshine comes, and you nourish it with a little bit of water, you will see it sprout in a few weeks. All that is required is one ray of awareness. For one moment, when you live in the other person's shoes. Today, Biden said it beautifully. Just for a moment, get into the other person's shoes. Let's not judge them. Everybody has their own reality based on their own set of circumstances, and they make whatever they want of it. The way to move forward is to have an intention of healing. Just have the intention. Let the awareness go through you. Let your words never be harsh, never be judgmental, never have the negative vibrations. Discard the negative and embrace the positive. There is good in every single person. It is just masked by their anger, by their frustration, by their complete lack of consciousness. They are not in touch with their source. Because if you are in touch with your source, the healing happens automatically. Your source, the true self, the sun that shines down on all of us, it doesn't just shine on Democrats, or it doesn't just only shine on Republicans. It shines on all of humanity equally. We all have access to it. Let us be gracious, let us be kind in this moment. Let us reach out to other people to begin the healing. Let us hold hands with the other side to begin this process of healing. Because we all, whether we belong to one party or another party, we are in the grip of this pandemic. Whether we belong to one party or the other party, we all need jobs. Whether we belong to one party or the other party, we need a planet to live in. We need to have a legacy for our children. The healing begins with you. To spread compassion and care and loving, and not words of anger and derision and division, looking down on them. Those things happen in moments of unconsciousness. Because there is no darkness without light. They both go together. Darkness is merely one end of the continuum. Light is on the other. They both require each other. And as you illumine the room, you sit in a dark room, and that's all you know. I've got only darkness. I've got no light. Nothing is going right in my life. I'm not able to run my business. I'm not able to run my store. That's all you see. A little bit of awareness, and you find that the room is filled with tools that you can use to learn a new skill, to run a new business. You need that light of awareness. You need to be in trauma to heal. Because when you are in the depths of trauma, the pain, the suffering itself opens it all up. Opens it all up to true consciousness. Say, what is it that you really want? There is not a human being on this planet that doesn't want to be happy, to be peaceful. Everybody wants that. It's just that their whole idea of what constitutes happiness is different. And that's where each one of us, we come in there. It is your job to be beacons of hope. To be beacons of hope. To spread the joy. To spread the happiness. To spread the hope that we can move forward. And when we come together again, it'll be even better than before. Let us not spend the next 4 years trying to destroy one another. Let us instead reach out and climb on each other's shoulders to reach the pinnacle, to reach unmistakable, unbelievable possibilities. We can do this together. Om Namah Shivaya.